Mercy triumphs over judgment.
Good morning and happy Monday.
You thought we wasn't gonna be here? You thought we were off? Nope. You're
I
off.
hope you're off. I hope you're off and
hope
enjoying
so.
the day with your families.
Happy Monday!
It's President's Day.
It's nice outside.
It is nice outside. It's supposed to be nice all week long, actually.
In New York, it is nice outside.
Yes. While we just had a snowstorm on Saturday,
There's still ice
the
on the
snow is melting, so we're happy about that.
This weather is so crazy. I had to wake up in the middle of the night and put some Vicks. But I got
like
my Buckleys
congestion.
online. I bought my Buckleys.
I haven't had Buckley's
Amazon
in
has dropped it off.
forever. I
Yes.
didn't even like.
Yes, the U.S. will not stop me from being well. But I was scared to take it last night because you got to get your...
Mentally,
Yeah.
like, okay.
Because it hits you right here.
I really forgot about Buckley's. This drug was nasty.
That's the healer.
It is nasty.
I bet you your child won't be coughing no more after they like try to kill you, trying to give them that. It is disgusting.
It is.
But guess what? It works.
It does work. It does work. So much happened.
Yes.
So much happened. How was your weekend, though?
Good. But today I'm getting ready for Wakanda. Yes. She already went.
I went. Yay for me, because we know that that's a struggle in itself. I got to the movies, guys.
I'm the last person in the world to go see this movie. That's what it feels like. All down the timeline. It's like everybody's seen it already.
Yeah, I went
We're
Saturday
going.
night, and it was good. I'm not going to give any spoilers. I definitely think I need to see it again to get all of the things that I missed. There's like actually YouTube videos like, hey, stuff you might have missed. And they run down all that stuff. I'm like, yeah.
Everyone
I
has
need to
either
see it
already
again.
gone to see it again, because that's how much I've been the last person to see it. They've
Good
either
morning.
gone to see it again, or they're seeing it again.
Yeah.
No one was just like, oh, it's good, I'm over it. They're like, no, I gotta go again.
Yeah, I think I missed a lot. I think I didn't get to digest all of the information that was coming at me, so I need to watch it again without distractions.
But I'm going, y'all. I am ready. Y'all see that I'm ready.
I wasn't that ready.
Y'all are ready, yo. Y'all, there's no games to be played. And I don't even think this is what I'm wearing
It's
tonight.
hilarious.
I have another
though.
outfit. Yes.
I have nothing like this. This is such a problem. As I'm watching like Instagram and just YouTube just flooded with like all the African garb and just people are going in. Whether it's
Did you
head
see
wraps.
anything at your theater, though?
No. You know what?
Interesting.
I didn't see anything like that.
But black people's having a good time with this.
Yeah. It's
And
very
why
nice.
not?
Yeah.
This is a fun Black History Month. I have to say.
Really?
Lots of fun.
Oh, you went to a play.
Yes. Went to a play last night with Renee Porter. Had a play last night. Black men telling their stories. Pretty awesome. I wouldn't say it's a play. It was a storytelling event. And I'm surrounded by men. Black men. So I figured,
In your
of
house,
course,
yes.
that's what we should go see. My father came with us, my husband, and my
that's
two
so
boys.
cool.
Yes.
That is so
So
cool.
I wanted the kids to hear, that live theater stuff is really important for them to be exposed to. And just seeing people that look like them and hearing their stories, it was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And my oldest was actually like, you know what, Mom, I liked it. It was really good. I just wish it wasn't on the night for the All-Star weekend. So, but the game was replayed. So it was just fine. He was up till after 1 watching the replay. But knock it off. We got things to do and other things
Get
to
in the culture
experience.
stuff, not what's just on TV and the
Exactly.
celebrity nonsense. There's so much more. So much more. Yes, I'm glad you got to do that. I
Yes.
honestly completely forgot. It would have been a nice event.
Yes, and I forgot to remind her. I know she saw it, but I
Forgot.
I didn't even remember, like, it came up in the calendar, we were like, because, like, the kids had games and whatever, and then there was, like, this big fight, and I was like, you know what, okay, I guess they're not going to their games, because I already bought the tickets.
That's funny.
Anything interesting in your weekend?
Yes, I was finishing up my Valentine's Day celebration. We were able to go get a couple's massage. First time ever. And he planned it, and it was very, very nice because, he doesn't normally do stuff like planned stuff, and he's doing a lot more of that stuff now. So I just want to shout him out and give him a pat on the back and go Jermaine, and it was awesome.
Friggin' awesome.
It was awesome. So we enjoyed that and got to do that, and just enjoy like a slow Sunday, which was good. Very, very good. But speaking of Valentine's Day,
what has not been fun about this Black History Month?
One for the record books. Good morning, Erica. How are you? So this Valentine's Day was one for the record books, and not in a good way, obviously. By now, many of you have heard repeatedly what took place on that fateful day. With the school shooting, I remember where I was, I was actually driving back from taking Justin to the doctor, and then I had to rush to go pick up Jocelyn at school. And on the radio, they're like, I'm really sorry to have to share this news, but it's in progress right now, an active shooting, blah, blah. And it was taking place in Parkland, Florida. And I'm sitting there, and they're just reciting, like, there was one or two text messages that came out. I know that the parents aren't fully being able to contact their kids, and we're just waiting to see how this plays out. And honestly, like, I couldn't help. I'm driving to pick my daughter up from school, and it's just tears. Like, I'm just like terrified. A parent outside the school wondering what is going on with my kid. First of all. Terrified.
Just imagine being in that predicament.
Terrified. And then just these kids, and you posted earlier in the week the text messages that went through to parents or to anybody on the outside, what these kids were experiencing and documenting as they were going through this traumatic thing. And it's heart-wrenching. Like, I couldn't believe it. And I'm sitting there crying for these mothers and fathers, like,
did you feel that pain in the pit of your stomach?
It literally, like, makes you sick to think about, like, not knowing if they're gonna be okay, not knowing what is going on, But this shooting, this actual occurrence, they were able to get him alive. They were able to actually take him alive.
Yeah. And a lot of people are like, why he ain't kill himself? I want to finally try to hear. So I don't know if we are going to hear, but I want to give this little boy opportunity to just tell us, why the hell did he do what he did? Why was he led to do what he did? I'm really hoping just that he can say something.
To explain and justify?
I would just like to hear something, because we have to learn from every experience.
Right.
Like,
right.
What? Just from his limited way, whatever it is, I would like to just hear something.
And he had already graduated. Like, he came back. He was 19, already. I think he graduated the year before, and then came, like, whatever happened or trauma, had to come back to the school and take out his frustrations and nonsense.
So I've been having a lot of discussion. I put stuff on my board. I'm friends with, because I work amongst lots of teachers, administrators, social workers, therapists, psychotherapists, psychologists. How is this happening again and again and again? And this happens so many times. We just because it was 17 people is why we're hearing about this one again. But this has been the 18th.
She said, I think he was expelled from school.
He was expelled. This has been the 18th shooting for the year.
I'm not even gonna get on this. Like, how is he able to get guns? But
How was he able to get guns?
Because it was documented that he had mental illness.
Yeah.
It was documented that he kept either calling into the school or whatever it was concerning things. How is he not checked for weaponry or prohibited from attaining weapons? But yes, the fact that it's happening so much more often, like it's increasing.
Right.
Who posted it? Yeah, it was number 18 and the year just started.
Yeah.
Like,
so, like, what are we missing as mental health workers? Like, what are we, and the whole thing, like, just plastering that it's just mental health is the issue is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So, I wanted the discussion to hear what people are saying, not negating that this is an issue that our government needs to deal with. In terms of there's way too much easy access to these guns, to this type of weaponry.
And assault rifles.
Exactly.
In what, like, there's no reason for a regular household to have, are you going to battle? Like, why do you need assault rifles? Why do you need, machine gun type of, you're not going to war. You're not, like, there's no need for it. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be able to walk down the street and say, oh, this house has assault weaponry. And I should, you know what I mean? Like,
and constantly, because the NRA put so much money into the government and all these votes into the government is the only reason why we're just sacrificing our children over and over again. At some point, something has to change here.
right.
So it looks like our students
Have had enough.
have
Had enough and are actually demanding, literally, like, they're holding their politicians accountable. They're saying, we're not going to take it anymore. You, whether it's Democrats, Republicans, you guys have just sat there and did nothing. Don't send me your condolences. Don't send me
Thoughts and
your
prayers.
Change something. And they're so, like, upset, and rightfully so.
Yes.
Rightfully so. It's like, why are we voting you into office if you're just going to block things and not actually allow change to happen? Like, and especially for the greater good, not for
greed. For greed is why they're allowing our children to get killed. I can't fathom what's going on here. It's insane. And so we're just supposed to keep sending our children to school, and let's just kind of, after a few weeks, we just forget about this. We stop talking about all these lives that were lost and the trauma that will ensue because of what these children have been exposed to, these teachers, the staff.
So, a couple of things. Who is it? The lady, what is her name? It just slipped my mind. The lady that took over education
Yeah.
in Trump administration. Whatever her name is.
Whatever her name is.
What is her name? Anyway, she was just, controversial in itself, her appointment to that position, not being an educator, not being, very well acquainted with the education system at all. Betsy DeVos, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Lois.
And she said, you know what? The teachers should carry guns. Oh, that'll make it better. That will make it better. Let's arm everybody. How about? Like, so anybody feels some type of way, we're just pulling guns. This is the Wild West
We're
again.
insane.
Like, what? I don't want guns in my house, so why would I want guns in my kids' schools? And I'm sorry, I would more trust me than any random person.
Betsy dumbass. But please believe it, there's a lot of mentally ill teachers out here too.
Exactly.
Like, don't get it twisted.
Everybody's susceptible to this
We're all a little warped. And somebody looks at me the wrong way.
I'm having a bad day. PMSing, you don't want this right now.
No gun
we're
in my house.
laughing.
Yes.
But it's craziness.
Lois, we were talking about that the other day. Please, listen, no gun over here, because I don't know what I'm liable to do with this gun. And y'all don't know what you're liable to do with this gun either.
Yeah, no.
Why would you give teachers guns?
No, I'm not okay with that at all. Not even...
Exactly. So, what I do have to say is we've been really bashing the schools that there's not enough because there isn't. There's not enough resources. Sometimes there's one psychologist for like 3 schools, 4 schools, a couple days here, a couple days there. Not enough social workers, and a lot of the guidance counselors are doing scheduling as opposed to actual counseling to really see what's going on. But there are a lot of programs that are working towards going into the schools. I know I was a part of a program that actually put actual therapists into the schools. Now they're making them do everything, not just
And that's
counsel,
what it is. And that's what it is. The fact
which
that
is
there's
annoying.
such limited resources. Because even just thinking from the teacher's standpoint, they are saddled with 25 plus. Like most of them, minimum 25 kids. And they're supposed to be able to pick up on that isolated student. She could probably just think he's quiet or he's, you know what I mean? How in her days of handling this many bodies, she's supposed to always cue in on that isolated person.
On top of everything else, and
Exactly.
every year the paper gets more intense. These Common Core crazy that's going on. How,
It's not
I
teaching
mean,
anything.
kids coming in smelling, needing social services, that they're crying,
They're
their
hungry.
clothes are not, up to par. They're starving, literally. How much things is she supposed to get done? And then the counselors are overwhelmed with the students, just the number of students, and trying to get their scheduling and the different testing and the different types of testing that each student needs. It's too much. And there needs to be the budget.
Increases every year.
They can only do so much with the budget that they have.
I know.
And so mental health ain't on the top of a lot of these principals' lists. So, but again, these
Yes.
are our children that
Yes.
we're talking about.
No, what did you say, Lois or Trini? Trini is saying that our system nationwide is broken and they keep blaming it on budget cuts. And honestly, like I said, most of the schools, especially in our area, the budget tends to increase every year. Where is it going? And it's to keep things that we think are essential, like after school sports and activities, enrichment activities and things like that. Never mind that mental health and all of these other things are necessary. But how many things can we saddle on the school?
And then we're overrun, because I know, like for our district up here, we're on Long Island, we're overrun with drugs. Mm-hmm. Now
epidemic.
that it's hitting
Epidemic.
these folks over here, it's a
Proportion.
real problem. So that's a whole nother show.
Yes.
So even one of my clients told me, she said, there's a lot of assemblies about this opioid epidemic, but there's a lot of us that are suffering with depression.
Yes.
And it's not being
Talked about,
it's not being discussed, not being addressed. So now it's just the drugs and scheduling. So here we are.
Yeah, I think it just in general, worldwide, like the fact that the state of our mental condition has been pushed on the back burner for, day-to-day making things happen, survival. Never mind that you go through traumas in life from childhood. A lot of us adults are still trying to get over childhood traumas and things we've experienced. But it's something that is so pushed back. And I'm like, no, it needs to be on the forefront. It needs to be top, like, priority in our insurance. We pay for insurance. Why are we just now getting stipends or having accommodations made in our insurance plans? It should be, no, therapists are necessary. No, what is it? What are those things called? Whether it's mental health retreats,
Girl,
I'm all over the place.
It's not a priority. Like Lois just said, we could put a Tesla on Mars, but we can't pay for resources to help our children that suffer from mental illness. It's just not a priority. It's not a priority.
And what I've seen, especially over the years, I've even had cousins and other relatives, I've seen that it's quicker to be treated with prescription than a complete and thorough working out. So, they'll diagnose ADHD. There you go. Here's some Ritalin, and you're good to go. No, like,
This is very true.
what?
This is very true. A lot of, and when you are getting the services, a lot of misdiagnosis is
Yes.
going on,
Mm-hmm.
and oh gosh, that's a whole nother
I know.
dilemma, because you are getting services and then it's not the appropriate services. It's not, or it's not thorough enough.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some racist biases within that. It goes on and on and on. But more needs to be done. Clearly, more needs to be done. You can't just, these families, as families, they need help. Like we're treating the child in the school and they have to go back
To their
to the crazy that's going on in their home and in their environment as a whole.
Yep.
So much needs to be done on so many levels, but it needs to be done. There's enough people out here with enough degrees that we can sit and figure this out, because this is traumatizing. Yes, it happened in Florida, but it's affecting all of us on so many levels.
But that goes to okay, let's say, as far as just educating and creating whole people from the jump, we need to be taught coping skills. We need to be taught how to manage
Our children are not
overwhelming.
resilient.
They're not being taught to bounce back from, because things are going to happen. I honestly really do wish that this was not the era my children are growing up in, because I think back when we were growing up, I was not afraid of going to school. I wasn't having lockdown drills and practicing in case something happens in the school. You're in a bathroom stall, pull your feet up so they don't know you're there. That is traumatic in itself, to be practicing that.
Exactly.
And I'm thankful I didn't have to go through that. But now my kids are having lockdown drills in preparation for this insanity that is our current state of affairs. But other than that, just regular day-to-day traumas, regular day-to-day hurts. Somebody hurts your feelings. You expected to excel at something and you're actually failing.
You're failing.
These things that are setbacks to us, actually, little mini injuries,
Right.
and we don't know
No
how
coping
to.
skills. Nothing in the toolbox.
Exactly.
On how to deal with
And I'm
this.
like, that is a preliminary thing that is a foundation thing that the kids should be taught. And then, whether it is bringing in therapists, whether it is, and to teach that is necessary. Because yes, we have broken adults because of these.
Yes.
They weren't taught the necessary
Exactly.
coping skills. And like we said, hurting people hurt other people. So now our children are being exposed to this, whether it's a teacher, whether it's anybody in authority, ourselves even. I want to raise resilient kids.
Yes, and we've talked about what it is to be in this constant flight or fright,
Stress.
completely stressed
Stress.
out. So I remember after the last,
Good morning, Lo.
what was the last school shooting? Was that Sandy?
No, there was another one. Because we're also, don't forget the concerts.
Right.
Don't forget the nightclubs.
Right.
Those happened after Sandy. But
Right.
and it made me so upset, because I'm like, so there's no sacred anywhere. Churches,
No.
there's no sacred space anywhere.
No. But I remember being in an office having a session with a student, and it was after one of those shootings, and there was like a noise, and she was, "Oh, is the door locked? Are we supposed to?
See?
Did we hear an announcement? What did they say?" And I'm just like, and we were just like in that state for a couple of weeks. Everyone was heightened, and this just affects you on so many levels.
Wow.
And we're
Can't
just
even
supposed
imagine.
to just act,
Can't
just
even imagine.
yeah, just keep it moving.
And wonder why they're riddled with anxiety.
Yes.
Wonder why they avoid, going out to things that we were like, what? That's a regular thing. Go to that
Exactly.
concert. Go live. Really?
Wonder why their resilience is so low.
Right.
It's too much.
So
We gotta help.
so much. But yes, as long as we're committed. So these children, like I said, we're calling them children, but they're adamant.
Our millennials.
Yes,
Let's go.
they're not taking it anymore. They're organizing marches. They're organizing
do a
walkouts.
walkout.
They're saying you need to make a change. Politicians whom we voted into position, stop worrying about your pockets and respect the lives lost.
Yes. So look into that walkout. It's a student and teacher walkout on March 15th. March 15th.
Yeah, there's a couple happening in March. There's 15th and I think the 24th. And I think there might have been another one on the 11th.
Well, we'll put it up.
Yeah.
If you allow your children to walk out because something needs to be done. I think it's like walk out for 15 minutes or something like that. They're asking staff and teachers and students to bind together and really just kind of get the word out that it's not going to be business as usual. It's not going to be business as usual. We have to make real, concrete change. That there's just too many guns out that's easily accessible, legally accessible, and we need it to be stopped.
Right.
Instantaneously.
And there was a couple of even reports that came from other countries that, yes, they even experienced either a shooting or a school shooting or something like that, and they immediately put in place a ban on certain types of weapons or a ban all across the board, and haven't experienced it since.
Well, the NRA ain't running a country.
I'm mad you just said they're running our country.
They are.
Good morning, Betty. For example, in Australia, in England, they've had successful, reports with, putting in a gun ban and the reduction of, school shootings and public place shootings. But yes, the fact that it is increasing means that something needs to be changed. And that's a start, but also addressing our mental health is a start. And also us at home, right?
So I was just going to say that.
Us at home.
So we need to start at home. That's where you
Yes.
always start.
Always start.
So you want to have these open conversations, which are difficult for us to have, but you want to have these open conversations. And a lot of people were saying, help your child to know that there are plans in place on if something happens, if a shooter comes in, what to do and how to do it. Yeah, that's scary to me too. But just so they don't feel like there's no help. There's no way that we can get out of this if something happens. But you want to hear from your child how they're feeling, because a lot of times they're suppressing their feelings. Here we go. They're suppressing their feelings and not really showing just how anxious they are, afraid about this situation.
Are worried about these things that are out of their control.
So you want to be just the dialogue alone will help get this off of their chest and decrease their anxiety and their depressed moods about it. And you want to be able to talk about how you're feeling about it. Maybe you want to not say everything to them. You want to speak to your spouse about it or your other family members, because it's a lot of anxiety around just sending your child to school right now.
Yes.
And we can't ignore that.
I'm like, homeschool.
Exactly.
You gotta stay at home.
Homeschooling is becoming a big thing. Believe me, if all black people want to register for a gun. Oh, girl.
Yeah.
Girl. Yes. If it was black boys buying these assault rifles, then it would be shut down. It would be shut down instantaneously. We are very well aware of that. But you want to have this conversation with your children. And then some people are contacting their schools directly. Like, what is in place? Because we know that what they're doing in there. We don't really know what's going on in there. We don't
They
really
send
know
like
what's
a
being
notice home,
discussed.
oh, we did a drill. Okay.
We don't really know what's being discussed. We don't really know what they're doing. And then sometimes you want to put more things in place. Like, I know a lot in the inner city, a lot of inner city schools do have metal detectors before you walk in. Some people are feeling safer to do that. Some times after a certain time in the day, all of the doors around the perimeter are locked.
Yep.
And you have to, you ain't just walking into this school. Where does this happen? You're not just walking into the school. There's security. Sometimes there's an armed person in the front door. You got to put license, this, that, the other, to get inside the building. So, we'll see what happens. But, I mean, talk to your school to see what else. Because I know the superintendent was like, we're going to talk more about what else we could put in place as opposed to how we can keep preparing our children to be slaughtered. We want to make sure that this is not going to happen.
Yeah.
So, I like that guy.
I do.
I like that guy. I've liked him
Even
from
the
the
call
first time.
that I got that night from our superintendent.
He was trying to be very
just very
soothing.
heartfelt, just very like, trying, because my heart was in my throat. Like, I can't. And
Yep.
I could only imagine.
So the title of our show is What's Love Got to Do with It? And love has everything to do with this. We have to bind together in love to figure this stuff out.
Yes. And just to just extend kindness. I think it's the loss of just valuing everybody's lives. Yes, we all experience hurts. We all experience traumas. And when people get into that isolated, it's me against the world mentality, it's we don't know what our kind gesture could mean to that other person.
Yes. And in our own household.
Yes.
Because sometimes we're not communicating clearly with our own children to know what's going on with them.
Yep.
And so they're feeling isolated. They're not feeling loved.
Yep.
And so there's these suicidal, homicidal thoughts. And we need to start right in our homes and have these real, and that's what happens with these situations when people are like, oh my gosh, I almost lost my child today.
Just makes you
and like you hug your child a little tighter and be grateful that you didn't lose your child. And how are you going to foster a better relationship?
Yes,
because life
is happening so fast. And just as you said that, I was like, even just last week, like we're dealing with preteens and they're going through so many emotions, so they are having this like pushback. They want to be independent, but yet they're struggling to figure it out on their own, and either don't want to ask for help or don't think they can ask you for help, and then they get into this little anxious little tight box that they're pulling away, and you're like, oh, they have an attitude.
Yep.
I can't talk to you lately. You've been and it just continues like that. But sometimes you just have to get
pull in a little closer
where they are. Like, I'm not leaving your space right now. I'm here. I see you. And it took me
and sometimes
getting
it's
there.
very difficult for us because we're busy.
I know, and we miss it. And it was like, okay, but something's been off for a good 2 weeks now. Let me just knock this wall down that you're erecting.
Yes. We want to do that. We want to do that in our homes, kind of be aware of
changes in behavior, all of these things. Changes in eating habits. Changing
sleeping habits.
In their relationships with you, with other people. Their friends. If they're not, contacting them as much. Like, things like that.
And it's harder for us now because everything is done so secretly on their phones and their little devices. I always say, I try to tell my son, listen, y'all don't even understand. Hello, Miss Glean. May I please speak to Crisada? That was the there's I don't know who they're talking to, when they're talking to.
I had such anxiety doing those phone calls. Like, rehearsed it.
There's none of that. There's none of that. These children do not have to rehearse anything on how to be polite, how to not call too late. Do y'all remember that? You couldn't be calling. Why is this little child calling my house this time in the night? That is what, like, there's the respect level.
They don't have
to do all of that. But so therefore we have to be paying even closer attention to what is going on, because we don't really know who they talking to.
Nope.
And what is going on here.
Who they're talking to
which
online.
Is damn scary.
Social media, what they're saying. Even like some of their apps has location settings. I'm like, you better make sure your location settings are turned off.
Yep.
What do you need to be broadcasting where you are anybody? They're coming to pick you up? Like, I don't understand. Simple things. And they're not thinking, they're like, oh, this is what everybody's doing. Oh, I see she's over there. They don't need to know where you are.
No. No. So again, if she wasn't looking,
I would have no idea.
No idea.
So they're just doing
and
stuff.
There's many times that we can't be looking over their shoulders, and sometimes it gets very frustrating to me. I'm like, I have a million other things to do than to make sure that you're doing your homework and not chatting.
Yep, but at the end of the day, what?
It's
they were placed in our care for a reason.
Yes, we gotta step in.
Steward
and
these
I've said this before, and I said it at another workshop. You parents, listen, this privacy, I don't want to be in there. Listen.
I'm nosy.
You need to be a nosy parent, because I don't know if I don't want to violate his privacy. Please stop.
Yep.
Please stop.
None of that.
Because you could be literally saving that child's life.
Yep.
Saving that child. I've been asked to do workshop on suicidal ideation because so many children are killing themselves. We need to be nosy and save our children's lives and see what the hell is going on, because a lot of these messages that is warped up in their head is lies. It's just not true.
Lies, and then social media ramps it up to your
Yes.
1,000+ friends
Yes.
list that isn't really your friend,
Yes.
and they're talking all kinds of craziness about, like, takes bullying to the next level,
Yes.
like heightens it all up.
When we went to
we're
school, bullying stopped at 3. You got home and it was ended.
Yeah.
It never stops. It's on your phone, and it's like a bad accident. You can't stop looking.
Yep.
So you're looking at all the negative
So then-
things and all day.
And even just phone detoxes from time to time. And we're just going to take this away for a little bit.
Sister, I am good to grab up a phone at any one point, because I want to see what's going on there. They erase stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They go on and put different names and
Yes.
different profiles. These kids are slick. Okay? But I also tell them that this is binding. These words that they write
Yes.
will put you in jail. Please understand it. Privacy, what my children already know. God placed them in my life, and privacy was not a part of the
Exactly.
contract.
Look, I agree. I agree.
Listen, let's please listen to Trini American. She is Lois. Let's listen to her. She's very experienced. She has a lot of children. She knows the game.
Too funny, too funny.
We need to really tap into your experiences, because it's crazy out here. Yes, you have no, and I have parents come into my office and are really battling with this privacy thing. And I get it. I get it. You didn't want anybody to read your journal. This is way deeper than your parent reading your journal.
What you doing in that journal?
This is way
No
deeper
business doing.
than your journal. This is setting up dates with people on Facebook that they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
This man is way older than you, and you lied and said you was whatever age because you thought it was cute. This is dangerous behaviors. And you just trying to be cute and have a good time, and you don't know what's going to happen in the encounter.
Hello,
And you at work and don't know what that child's doing.
And kids just going missing. Don't forget that part.
Yes.
With the whole, I can't. So there's so much. There's so much.
She's still nosy in her 22-year-old's life. No age exactly.
We gotta do what we gotta do.
Sorry.
And I'm being held accountable for your life. I need to know what's going on. Sorry. Like, call me crazy. You'll love me later and thank me later.
I tell my son all the time, tell them you got a crazy mother. Like, I don't know what to tell you. She crazy. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. You're going to be crazy, but you're going to be alive and you're going to be functioning. You're going to be stable. That's what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
Because it's really scary out there. Like, it's really scary. And like I said, they're exposed to so
Learning
much
out
information. Like, inundated with information. And when you also said about pulling that phone, it's not just about what they could be sneaking and doing. It's just too much information flooding their little brains.
It's like you shouldn't even be considering that.
It's
right
too
now.
much. It's too much for us. Furthermore, these little children, sometimes we have to put the phone down and just stop. I'm telling y'all that meditation is real. Y'all need to stop, put that phone
what it
down, do some breathing.
They're not learning to get quiet. To tune out all of the noise. It's just bombarding them, and they're like getting all these emotions and wrapped up and not knowing how to process all of this. So I mean, it definitely does start at home, trying our best to teach them how to cope. And if we see our kids struggling, whether it is becoming isolated, becoming, erratic in behavior, up and down moods, things like that, do not hesitate to call that therapist, whether it be for you or that child. Do not hesitate to, because I know that was a big thing back in the day with, go to a therapist.
Back in the day, sister, it's live right now.
But I mean, like, the stigma is
There's
like, no, they're
so
going to
much
medicate
stigma.
them. No, they're going to.
That's right now. There's so much stigma around mental health. Still right now. Even if the therapist says you don't have to, you can go for the consultation. You don't have to say yes to nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing.
You are the
want
barrier.
your child tested for specialized services. They want to give the service. You don't want it. You do not have to. But don't close your mind off either completely. Be open to see what was going. Be aware and be open. There's a lot of resources out there for you. You need to tap into them. Don't be so completely shut down to, they ain't going to do this to my child. Be open and look at the whole spectrum and talk to people. That's why we have this forum. Put it on here. I'm struggling with this. My child, don't keep all of this to yourself. Right. And that's the biggest thing. Open up. Like I said, there's a lot of mothers out here who has a lot of experience with a lot of topics. Put your question up there and like, listen, my child has been doing this. I don't really know how to handle it. I don't know what to do. We can help. Because we need help. Because this world is moving really fast, and we can't really catch up with it, and we need to be alert with what is going on. Oh, and the other thing we were talking about with letting our children, we also want our children to be kind to each other at school. Every time before they walk out the house, I'm like, listen, be kind, be a blessing to others. Stacy wrote a whole book about it. There's small acts of kindness because, you know, even with the shooting, there's always these stories that come out of how people got in the other way and really tried to protect the students and really, you know, did help somebody else. They saw they were bleeding. You want your child to be able to help others
on a daily basis.
I have a client that her friend kept talking to her about, you know, these suicidal thoughts and and she was the one that took her to the guidance counselor and was like, I'm sorry, I know you didn't want me to say anything, but I had to tell the guidance counselor what was going on because I was so scared for you. She probably saved her friend's life. You don't want to keep, this ain't no secret.
Right.
That ain't no secret that you want to keep.
That's
and
so
you
true.
Parents also, sometimes you find yourself and your children in these situations and you want to keep it a secret. No. Shout it out.
Got her singing this
Get
morning.
help. It is so necessary. We don't want to lose our children. We don't want to lose our children. I'm telling you, they are exposed to so much, and their anxiety just keeps ruminating all these negative thoughts. Nobody cares about me. Nobody loves me. It would be better if I wasn't here. Nobody cares. It doesn't matter. Around and around and around. And then they go and they put up a post, and they only got one like, and around and around and around. Then they came in. And the first thing you said to them was, you didn't pick up your socks from the floor, and and you're going to be on punishment, and around, and this is what feeds it. Like, it's nothing huge. It's just a bunch of little things and little things and little things and little things.
Yep, that's so true. That is so true. But like, and we all been through, you know, the school system when we were younger, how quickly just a minor thing, you know, somebody laughed at you and then, everybody started laughing at you. And now with their social media, it's amplified to the 1,000th exponent. But it's like, I try to tell my kids, like, okay, you know, don't be that, you know, exclusionary person. Like, okay, y'all are playing the game. Why are you going to let that one kid just be by himself? You know, everybody was there and we agreed to play this game and nobody picks him, or like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to kill you to have him on your team. It's not going to kill you. Like, at the end of the day, be that person that reaches out. Be that person to be a friend to someone that doesn't have one. And again, extend those small acts of kindness. We need them. We need them all the time. But yeah, that's what we wanted to remind you guys of. And we wanted to send our support. Our heart goes out to the survivors of this, their families, those that lost a loved one, those that there was this kid, I think his name was Anthony Burgos. He was 15. I was reading about him last night, who used his body as a shield, 15 years old, for his friends. Sending prayers out for him and his family, as well as there was a couple of other of those great stories of people that, you know, jumped in to save others. This kid was 15 and he's surviving, but he needs multiple surgeries. He's still on life support. We're just going to send him so much love, so much love.
And that's what love got to do with this.
Yes.
It has everything
At the end of the day, love for humanity. Yes, we
Yes.
have differences, but life is precious. We are breathing. It's precious. It's precious. Value it. Value it. And I just want to thank you guys.
This life and not take any day for granted that we're here.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Huge, huge, huge. So we love you guys. Hearts are heavy, but we're still here. We can make a difference. We are making a change. We're sending you all love. And we'll post that information on those rallies and walkouts that are upcoming in March. If you guys would like to participate, I hope you do. We have to make change happen. We do. Our kids are depending on us. So.
Get to these politicians. Oh, they out. Do what you got to do or you out.
Yeah.
That's just that simple. It's just that simple. No more games to be played.
Seriously. But thank you guys. We hope you have a blessed day. And
Looks
the rest
like a lot of
your
y'all
week.
are off.
Yes, enjoy this day off if you're off, and relax, and then ease into the rest of the week.
This is I said this before. This break couldn't come at more of a timely manner. These kids need a break from school. We need a break to spend some time with our children and just loving up on them,
Yes.
because this is just a lot. So I just felt like this break, if you don't know what we're on a winter break, right?
Yeah, winter break.
The kids are off for the week. If y'all don't, not into that school world, or it's not like that. We're in the state
Not
that you're
every
in.
state has it, yeah.
In New York, we're on our winter break, and it's just like, whoosh,
Yeah, just jump
Take
out
a
of the
breather.
routine. Just take it easy. Just relax.
that meditating. I'm going to be doing a lot of meditating with my children.
Yes, gotta
They need
get
to
them to
breathe.
do it.
Yes, we need to slow down, and we need to just take a breather. Listen, don't get it twisted. They will be doing some exercises to catch up on some stuff that they missed last week. Don't get it twisted. There's always some work to be done, but we are prioritizing
Mental health.
mental health. Good
And
mental
de-stress.
health this week. Just take a breather and just chill out.
Yep. Jocelyn was doing yoga with me this morning. It's all good. So
Love
is
it.
Justin. He's got his downward dog. He's got it. But there's
You know
just
that downward
started-
dog. Look, where's the West Indians on here? Where's the West Indians on here?
Why?
When the child is bending down, looking between their legs, what does that mean?
I don't know. What does it mean?
Let's see.
What does it mean?
Talk quick.
What does it mean?
Somebody say something.
No. Tell me, what does it mean? Tell me, what does it mean? What does it mean, Kim?
What does it mean?
No!
Yo! I knew y'all would get it!
No!
Thank you up here! They looking for the next baby come. Yeah!
No.
I knew y'all knew. I know y'all know it. Yes.
No.
Yes. I love y'all. No, do you want your child to be doing the downward dog?
Just saying, he was good at it.
Yeah.
Bye.
Love you guys.
Get out of here. No babies. It's fabrication.
I told you she's
No
experienced.
babies.
Lois
Right
is
now.
very experienced. She knows what she's talking about. Don't take her words lightly.
Anyways, have a good day, you guys.
Mercy triumphs over judgment.